Everyone, I'm pleased to welcome committee members and guests to the Committee on Student Affairs and Special Programs meeting. Everyone should have some form of electronic device, i.e. an iPad, a laptop, a phone, etc., to access the agenda and other supporting documents for this meeting. There are 5 copies of the agenda and supporting documents on the table if you have a paperless access at this time. There are 2 action items and 2 information items before this committee today. I will proceed with the action items first. A, approval of the meeting minutes. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of October 31st, 2011?
So moved.
Can I have a second? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The minutes are approved. B, approval of the new community college association governance and student activity fee. Vice Chancellor Frank Sanchez will now provide an overview of the college association governance and the student activity fee.
Thank
Vice
you.
Chancellor?
Thank you, Chair Pusey. Before I go into the new community college proposal, I just want to take a quick, really 30 seconds to recognize our new student member, Representative Melanie Cyril, who's joined us for the first time at this meeting, as well as the alternate, Lilia Lopez, who's in the audience back here. So, well, the new community college is proposing the establishment of the college association and an initial student activity fee. The inaugural class will commence at the new community college in fall 2012. In order to offer the student body extracurricular and other student activities, it is better for the campus to open with opportunity for a viable student program to be in place. The college desires to organize a college association named the New Community College Association Incorporated that will be responsible for administering the student activity fee. In accordance with Board Bylaws Section 16.5, the bylaw and certificate of incorporation of the College Association have been approved by the new community college president and reviewed by the University Office of the General Counsel. Its governing board will be composed of the college president or his or her designee as chair, 6 students, 3 administrators, and 3 faculty members. The college has reviewed student activity fees at other community colleges and in consideration of its needs proposes that the initial student activity fee be established at $55.85 for full-time students and $20.85 for part-time students. This fee will support a full range of extracurricular activities pursuant of Section 16.2 of the bylaws. Without student government in place currently, the fee is being brought forward to the board at the recommendation of the president of the college and with the support of myself. This process follows the 1983 precedent when the new law school interim fee was established. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor. I would like to now announce that President Scott Evenbach of the new community college would like to say a few words at this time. President Evenbach.
Thank you. These are exciting days for the new community college. We had a full building of students for information session on Saturday, and today we sent out our first student financial aid award letters, and today come before you with the resolution requesting that the board approve our college association, which will be fundamental to student life at the campus, to provide a home for the student activity fee and important leadership centering on students for the work that we'll do to support student academic success. I want to thank Frank Sanchez for his leadership in getting to this point, and especially Roberta Nord, who's with us today, Hillary Klein, and Jane Davis, who were all extraordinarily helpful as we found everybody at CUNY Central as we've launched the new community college. I'm here with Jose, our provost, and Rebecca, our director of student engagement. We're very pleased to be able to be here when you consider this important resolution. Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Oh, yes, please do.
What is the actual fee?
It is $55.85.
And how does that compare with what the similar fees are at other community colleges?
It's right in line with the other,
Okay.
with the other fees. We looked at all of them.
Possibly.
Actually, it's 55 cents that will actually go to community college. The other 85 cents is designated to the University Student Senate per our bylaws, the 85-cent fee.
Second question?
Yes, question. I certainly understand the need for this and would support it. I just have an informational question, and that's about the 13 members on the governing board. The 3 faculty members appointed by the college president from a panel of 6 elected by the college council. I know I'm from Borough of Manhattan Community College, and our academic senate elects this panel of 6 faculty, and the president chooses 3. My question is there an established college council at this point, and who's on the college council?
Go ahead.
Governance plan will be coming before the board at the June meeting, and that will establish the college council. What we have a proposal now that it's primarily faculty members on the college council, but there are also some administrative representatives and some student representation.
So,
If it's approved as
yeah.
now proposed.
So just follow up. So the intent of my question, obviously, is to think about who will be electing the panel of 6 faculty members. And since there's no formal governance plan in place just yet, so you're saying that the college council will be composed of a majority of faculty? Thank you.
Can I have a second to the original motion?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion or questions beyond what we have just heard? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President Beck. We have an information item, the 2010-2011 NIPERG report, and Deputy Director Farouk Abdallah of the New York Public Interest Research Group will now present the 2010-2011 report relating to the CUNY campuses. Mr. Abdallah, please.
Hi, yes. Thank you for having us. I am proud to present NIPERG's activities report for the academic year 2010-2011. It's as you can see from the report, all 800 pages of it. We've had a lot of activities on our non-CUNY college campuses in areas of consumer rights, mass transit, environmental preservation, higher education funding, voter registration, homelessness, and what we call our student empowerment series, which is a series of workshops that are designed to educate students on some of their basic rights as tenants or as consumers, give them skills such as financial literacy so they can make wise decisions when it comes to their finances. So we've done this on all of our campuses, all 9 of our college campuses, working very closely with many of the campus administrators there, teaming up with them, partnering up with them. And for the upcoming, and for this year, we are working to continue establishing that strong connection with college administrators and expanding it to other administrators who we may not have been working with in the past, but are happy to partner up with now. Work closely with Vice Chancellor Frank Sanchez and his office, and the and the vice presidents at the 9 chapters that we're at. I'm happy to take any questions.
Are there any questions?
Just one. About how
Yes.
many students participate in all of these activities?
Well, there's different levels of participation. There are some students who just come to our events. We recently had an event at BMCC last week where 100 students showed up, and it was an event designed to educate them on the budget process in Albany and funding structure and how it affects them. We also recently delivered several hundred letters to the state on funding. So some students might stop by one of our tables
Okay.
to default postcard or just to inquire about more information. Each of our schools would have anywhere between 8 and 20 interns, and those are students that participate in a set number of hours for credit. So it really depends. Each what we call a core of a chapter would have anywhere between 30 and 50 students, and then usually during the course of the year, a couple of thousand students would participate in one way or the other, either showing up at an event or filling out a postcard or a letter, or just using one of the services that we provide. Like we have a small claims court counseling service where we train students to become counselors, and they're able to give advice, non-procedural, non-legal procedural advice
Right.
to people that are either have proceedings in the small claims court, or they want to sue, or if they have sued and they have been able to collect, our students are able to help them.
Thank you.
I have one question. How in-depth is the financial literacy that you provide? What does it focus on in particular?
Focus on a couple things. One of the things is we have a workshop that we call Credit Cards 101,
Good.
where we go through the different types of credit card and different terms that are out there. We show students on ways to read the fine print, so they can make wise decisions on their future, of their finances. I mean, I was one of those students when I was at Brooklyn College that wanted a Nerf football, so I signed up for a bad credit card. So we this is, I don't think this happens anymore where they set up tables on campus anymore.
It
No.
doesn't
No.
have a policy.
Right. But back when I went to school, they used to do that. So we basically give them the information, so they know the kind of questions to ask if they do decide to sign up for a credit card. And when they do have a credit card, things for them to do or keep in mind for them to keep their credit score high and to be more responsible with it. We do workshops on student loans. And a lot of times these workshops we will work with that campus a financial aid officer. They'll come and they'll talk about different financial aid packages that may be available to students, whether it's Pell or federal loans. And this year, actually, we're teaming up with at our community colleges with the Single Step program, which we think is a really great service that's available to students. And we're going to be working very closely with CUNY to try to bring students to Single Stop, and also work with them to have them follow up on their inquiries.
Are you also, when you refer to credit cards, are you also instructing on the importance of maintaining a good FICO score?
Yes.
Do you teach them how to review their FICO scores?
I will check. I believe that is part of the workshop.
Okay, if you don't,
Yeah.
call me. I'll show you how to do it. Do you teach them how to purchase their first car?
No, we don't.
Call me. This is what I teach.
I'm seeing a great partnership developing right here.
What's very important is a lot of students get caught up in leasing automobiles, and they don't know how to get out of it, and it upsets their FICO score.
Right.
And any student who has any opportunity of working in the financial services industries when they graduate are going to have a terrible time getting a job. So we have to maintain that right up front and make it clear cut that they have to have a straight and narrow when it comes to their credit.
In fact,
Okay.
a lot of places check credit score.
They all do.
before, before they hire people.
Yeah, you all do.
Not just for buying a car or getting
Yeah.
a job, an
Yeah.
apartment,
Everything,
Everything.
everything. Vice Chancellor Sanchez knows the importance of financial literacy that I have been proposing since I became a trustee many years ago. And I've been to every campus to discuss it with students. So please call on me. Utilize me as a resource. It's very important because a lot of students graduating find it very difficult to get a job. And it's that one little thing that holds them back, and we don't want that to happen. Okay, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions, any further questions?
I would just like to follow up on what he said in the beginning. On my campus, on Queens College's campus, we also have a NIPERG chapter
Mhm.
that's been very involved. We also have student interns there. I know this month they had voter awareness, and they've been collecting voter registration forms, and they have
Good.
other events during the week. So.
Job well done, it's very important. It's good, it's gonna be an important election. Very good. Any other further election?
I also
comment?
just want to comment NIPERG on their effort, especially I was at City College a couple days ago where we had a very big drive on voter registration, and I see the manpower they put out there in order to get this done. Even though we had other members like the student government and CCSD were present, NIPERG did put a lot of manpower into the whole thing, setting up 3 different tables at 3 different places in the school and keep switching people around. So that's something that's really good, so I really appreciate it.
Our organizing from City College is here.
Yes,
And I'm joined by several students from our chapters.
Good, excellent, very good. Well, we'll now move on to the Vice Chancellor's report. Vice Chancellor Sanchez, please.
Thank you, Chairperson Priscilli. I have several updates and information items to share with the committee. The first is an update on our tobacco policy implementation. After CUNY's revised tobacco policy goes into effect September 4th of this year, each campus will determine the best strategies for compliance by students, faculty, and staff. CUNY's ideal vision for enforcement of this policy includes self-enforcement and changes in cultural norms around tobacco use on campuses. My office will be sending a memo, likely in this next week, to college presidents, deans, and vice presidents for student affairs for outlining campus compliance options and guidelines. Another update is related to our health food initiative. As part of the work of the CUNY Health Food Campaign with the School of Public Health and the support of the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, the advisory committee has developed recommendations designed to improve campus food environments in order to improve the health of the CUNY community. I'll be sharing with the college presidents and deans of Healthy CUNY policy brief that provides suggested practices for healthy food options across our CUNY campuses. Also, Greek life has become a topic of interest among our student community, and after consulting with the Office of the General Counsel, I'll be sending a memo to the college presidents and deans, as well as vice presidents of student affairs who wish to explore Greek letter organizations. The memorandum will offer recommendations as well as additional information and guidance regarding the presence of Greek organizations on college campuses. This past week, the Central Office of Student Affairs had a luncheon celebrating the successful partnership between CUNY and Single Stop USA. Since 2009, Single Stop has served over 18,000 CUNY students at our community colleges, and this equates to over $36 million in public benefits to our students in community colleges, benefits such as food stamps, public assistance, child care, health insurance, housing utility assistance, even in some instances emergency grants. And so this was certainly a great celebration and great success of the program. In fact, this coming week we'll be finalizing this next year's contract with Single Stop, which we're excited about as well. Another exciting partnership is with Verizon, our central office of women's centers, who works with our 9 women's centers across the system, has partnered with Verizon Wireless to invite students, faculty, and administrators to recycle as many old cellular devices as they can to a program called You Hope Line. And this program turns no longer used cell phones into support for domestic violence victims and survivors. And we've developed kind of a healthy competition amongst our participating campuses, and the campus who brings together the most cell phones will get a grant to improve their women's centers of like $7,000, and all the participating campuses will get grants of $1,000 with this initiative. And so I think that will help with the different operating expenses of our women's centers. 2 very quick other information items. This past year, the Central Office of Student Affairs initiated the National Association of Student Personnel Administrators, NASPA Institute. What this institute has done is worked with all the vice presidents of student affairs across our system and have identified several topics in which we've brought in national speakers to share the national best practices and policies with our vice presidents. On April 13th, we'll be bringing in Dr. Jillian Kenzie, who's a national expert on assessment and effectiveness within the field of student affairs, and she'll be speaking with our vice presidents of student affairs across the system. We also are continuing our student affairs lecture series, in which on April 17th, we're going to be bringing in Dr. Arthur Levine, who's a well-known scholar in higher education and currently the president of the Woodrow Wilson Foundation. And he will specifically be talking about, in fact, I have a flyer here, he'll specifically be talking about technology and how our campuses need to update themselves. In fact, I think I passed it on over here. But as everyone knows, technology is an important topic, certainly in the classroom, but also in terms of our services for students. And so he will be inviting certainly all the vice presidents of student affairs, presidents, as well as students that are interested in learning more about what our speaker, Dr. Levine, has to say about his presentations and how students' technological needs for tomorrow's campuses. And so we're delighted to be hosting him with that presentation. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Vice Chancellor Sanchez. Are there any questions? None? I thank you all for attending, and this meeting is now adjourned. Have a happy holiday.